Once upon a time in a small town, there was an old supermarket called Terrible Choice. It was known for its low prices and wide assortment, but over time strange rumors began to appear that the supermarket was hiding dark secrets. A young woman named Anna, who had recently moved to town, decided to walk into Horrible Choice in search of groceries. Upon entering the store, she felt an unfamiliar cold atmosphere, and her whole gut told her that something was wrong. Anna was walking down the corridors of the store, and it seemed to her that someone was watching her. When she turned around, no one was there. However, when she turned around, she noticed a shadow disappearing behind one of the counters. Anna's heart began to beat faster, but she decided to ignore her fears and continue shopping. However, as she approached the meat department, she saw something horrible. Chunks of meat, stained with blood, were lying on the floor, and guts were hanging on the shelves. Anna frightenedly tried to leave, but the doors suddenly locked, and she found herself locked inside the supermarket. Panicked, Anna ran down the hallways and saw horrifying pictures everywhere. The grocery shelves were covered in blood, the walls were painted with mysterious symbols, and the dolls displayed on the counters looked creepy and frightening. When Anna finally found her way out, she found that the security doors were also locked. The entire supermarket proved to be a trap for her. She began to realize that the store had a life of its own, and was turning into a sinister maze, where every step could be a trap. Anna ran through the halls and found the stairs leading to the second floor. She climbed up it and entered a locked room, where several other people were with her. They all told horror stories about what they had seen in the supermarket. Some claimed to have seen ghosts and heard ominous whispers. Others said they saw a creature chasing them down the aisles of the store. The group of people realized they needed to band together to get out of this nightmarish place. They made their way through the confusing maze, encountering tainted products, screaming mannequins, and sinister figures coming to life in the dark. Hours mingled with days, and days changed to nights, until finally the group reached the main exit. The horrible choice was over, and it wasn't until they stepped out into the fresh air that they realized the creepy supermarket had disappeared without a trace. Since then, when the townspeople ask about Horrible Choice, they tell the story of its sinister past, and warn others never to enter its doors.
If you like stories like this, please like and subscribe, or you will become a victim in one of my nightmare stories.
Deep into the night, as the streets fell into an eerie silence, the old supermarket known as the Last Store came alive. Despite its grim appearance and the frightening history associated with its past owners, many citizens still dare to shop there, unaware of the horrors lurking within its walls. One day, a young woman named Anna decided to go to the Last Store to buy groceries before an impending thunderstorm. She entered a gloomy hallway with yellowed streetlights that provided no reliable light. As she stepped onto the worn linoleum, she felt a strange presence haunting her. Deciding it was just her imagination, however, she continued on her way through the store. Exploring the shelves, Anna noticed something unusual. The products were covered with dust and clearly expired, but the strangest thing was that they were still on sale. Anna felt increasingly uneasy and looked anxiously at the baskets of rotting vegetables and bloody pieces of meat. As she passed through the musty meat department, Anna heard a faint rustling in the far corner of the store. Turning, she saw something dark and uncertain flicker between the racks. Her heart beat faster, and she decided it was time to leave the place. But as Anna headed for the exit, she found that all the doors she passed through were locked. She found herself trapped in this sinister supermarket. Horror gripped her, and she began running around the store, looking for any way to get out. Suddenly she heard a soft voice whisper her name. Panicked, Anna stopped and stared into the darkness. There, in the distance, she saw the figure of a man in a black cloak, standing at the cash register. He was slowly approaching, and Anna noticed that his face was distorted by sparks of fire. Horror gripped her, and she began to break the glass of one of the windows, but it did not crack. Meanwhile, the man came closer and closer, and Anna felt his cold breath on her neck. She realized that she was becoming a victim of something inscrutable and malevolent that lurked in the shadows of this supermarket. With the last of her strength, Anna struck one last blow at the window, and it shattered. She ran outside, feeling the free air and relief from the nightmare that haunted her inside. She turned to look at the last store, and saw that it had turned into a pile of rubble and dust. Anna walked away from there, not daring to look back, but the terrible memory stayed with her forever. That night, the last store disappeared, but those who have heard its grim story know that it still attracts brave men who dare to enter its otherworldly world of horror and darkness. A new supermarket appeared in a quiet provincial town, promising customers a wide range of goods and low prices. But over time, rumors of strange things happening within its walls began to appear. One day, a young girl named Anna decided to do some shopping in the supermarket. Once inside, she immediately felt an unpleasant atmosphere, as if someone was watching her. But she decided to ignore her feelings and began to choose products. Gradually, Anna noticed that all the supermarket workers looked tense and frightened. They moved hurriedly through the corridors, whispering among themselves and not paying attention to the customers. Anna began to feel that something was wrong, but she could not understand what it was. Suddenly she heard a low, but clearly unnatural hissing coming from deep inside the supermarket. She followed the sound and found herself in an abandoned and dingy warehouse. The shelves were empty, with broken boxes lying on the floor. Among the rubble, Anna spotted a lowly door leading to an underground tunnel. With trepidation but curiosity, she opened it and went down. The tunnel was cold and dark, the only source of light being a dim bulb at the end of the corridor. As she moved deeper into the tunnel, Anna began to hear muffled sounds of footsteps and rustling. She became frightened, but it was too late to turn back. A figure in dark robes suddenly appeared in front of her, hidden in the shadows. The man, known as Mr. Ancient, appeared to be the owner of a supermarket. He told Anna his story. Mr. Ancient was a sorcerer who used the supermarket as a trap for cursed souls. He made deals with customers, offering them low prices on goods, but in return, he demanded their souls. Mr. Ancient confessed that he was now doomed to roam the tunnels beneath the supermarket forever, looking for victims for his cursed bargain. He and his servants have become prisoners of their own supermarket, trapped in a vicious cycle of sales and bloody ritual. Anna realized that she was Mr. Ancient's next victim and decided to escape. She quickened her pace, but the tunnel began to change shape, blocking her path. The walls were shrinking, the ceiling falling on top of her. Anna fought for her life, running, jumping over obstacles, but each time the tunnel changed and became more dangerous. Eventually, Anna managed to get out of the tunnel by rushing to the back of the supermarket. She ran out into the street, gripped by terror but grateful for the rescue. Behind her, the door to the tunnel disappeared as if it had never been there. Anna told the local police about her terrifying adventure, but when they arrived at the supermarket, they found only an ordinary sales floor, with no sign of Mr. Ancient or the underground tunnels. Since then, Anna has never forgotten that nightmarish experience, and warns others that behind seemingly ordinary store walls, a terrifying creature can lurk.